Awesome. That was awesome.
You guys are awesome.
No, you're awesome.
You are awesome.
Sir, you are awesome. Seriously.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
Everything is awesome.
Welcome to this week's edition of Everything is Awesome. I'm your host, Kev, and this is the show where we talk to awesome people about awesome things.
Do you usually go that high with it? I'm Kev.
I think so. You know, because I don't, it's all the same to me, right? Like when I sit down and record, I just like start recording.
Right.
And when we did the 10-year anniversary of me in podcasting, it was me and Santoro that did that special. And he, as soon as I introed it, he's like, "Wow, Radio Kev." I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, I guess there is. I guess I do have a radio personality when I start talking." So, anyway, this is the show where we talk to awesome people about awesome things, and this is, I won't say the long-awaited because you only had to wait a week, but the Everything is Awesome look ahead to 2026. Obviously, you've already heard Mike. He is here.
I'm present.
And we are, so you may notice slightly different audio quality as we were setting up in our, we'll call it mobile
office.
Yeah, the mobile office, mobile studio. One of the cables gave out on a microphone, and I don't have a spare with me. So instead of passing a mic back and forth, which is going to pick up that noise, we're just going to do this. And this is usually pretty decent. And we're not actively moving, so we're good. So we are going to be looking ahead to movies and video games, specifically some creative stuff on our own plates, and if we have time, we'll look at TV and maybe books, going for what's coming out or what we want to consume is the word I'm looking for in 2026. So if you didn't listen to our 2025 rewind, go listen to that. Because it might, I don't know if it's going to influence us at all, except for maybe our personal projects and like our personal like to-do list in 2026. So I guess we'll follow the same format. We'll start with movies.
Sounds good to me.
And then move to video games and then go from there. I'm going to get a couple honorable mentions out of the way. 4 highlights I have are the Sheep Detectives with Hugh Jackman.
That does look good.
Looks really good. It was actually, it started my list around like 6. And then it just got moved out.
Yeah, and we talked about that last time about how like we're both like murder mystery fans.
Yeah,
that
and
looks like
such a wacky version of it.
It's a cute idea.
I thought it was, when I saw the title and saw the beginning of the trailer, I was like, oh, he's like gonna, I guess, be a like find sheep or something.
I saw the way that he looked, and I was like, all right, this is some silly indie like true crime thing, and I don't want to be involved. And then like I was just bored one day and looked at it and I was like, oh, that's good.
It's for real quick, Hugh Jackman, spoilers, dies or is killed. It's in the trailer, so it's not a big spoiler. And the farm animals, the sheep he tends to or has, his flock,
he reads them murder mysteries. And that's how they've become equipped to try and find out.
I haven't seen this show on Netflix yet. I want to. They are the Thursday Murder Club. Thursday Night Murder Club.
We watched a couple episodes of that and we just couldn't get into it. But I do want to give it another try.
Yeah, I'll eventually. All right. The other 3, Toy Story 5. There's very little about it, so I just didn't even try to put it on my list. I don't know much about it. Clayface, also don't know much about it, but I'm really interested in the...
And is that definitely a 2026?
That's what Google told me.
Okay.
But I don't know if like I mean nothing has started other than maybe those scripts done.
Yeah.
I mean if it's still being talked about,
like they haven't even casted it yet, right?
I don't think so. And if it's still being talked about, the script is at least good enough for James Gunn to say we're making it.
Right. Oh, you know what? Is that James Flanagan? Is he the one that's working on it?
Mike Flanagan.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's why I was saying it.
Yeah. That's the only 2 things you need is a good script and Flanagan.
Yeah. And then also on my list, though I don't know if it will become a 2026 watch, is The Legend of Aang. That is for me may not be a 2026 watch. It depends on how far the podcast that Mike and I do called Avatar State Radio is a rewatch for Mike and a first time watch for me of the entire Atlas series. And
Excuse me.
this is, I guess, a sequel to the cartoons.
Correct. Yeah.
Well, the original
be,
cartoon.
It'll be, I think, like what we see in the cartoons that we're watching now is like teens, like mid-teens for all the main characters. And then Legend of Aang, I think, is going to be like mid-20s Aang,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see it. It just might not be. That's why I put it on my
You might
honorable
have to
mentions.
wait until...
And then 3 that kind of go together. The Bride, Werewolf, and Dracula are 3 that, like, they're not necessarily, they're Universal monster movies, but I don't think they're actually made by Universal.
Right. Universal monster characters.
Right.
But they're public
Classic,
domain.
yeah, public domain, classic horror characters. Dracula, I just watched the trailer today. Actually looks really good. Werewolf, there's not much. I think it's done filming, but I don't see anything for it. The Bride is a little wacky.
Is Werewolf the one with Silver Surfer? Or is that... Because I know that there was a werewolf one that, like, I saw trailers for last year. And I didn't know
So
if it was-
this has William Dafoe in it.
Okay, different one. Okay.
And it's spelled like almost the German way, I think.
Yeah, werewolf.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, it's not the Julia Garner one.
The Bride looks Christian Bale is Frankenstein.
Right.
And somebody else that I was like, oh, he's in it?
Doctor or the monster?
The monster.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it's a I guess it almost looks like it's got like an 80s punk rock vibe.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, but it's such a wild take. So I threw it on my honorable mentions. So that being said, let's get to our list here. Number 10 for me, this started around 2 or 3, Primate. It is that horror flick with the monkey.
But the monkey, yeah, right. Like no main character, just the monkey.
Yeah, there's no really big star in it. It's not indie, but it's an interesting take. It kind of reminds me, and I didn't see this movie. I want to see it, but Good Boy, where it's like the horror movie from the perspective of a dog.
Yeah.
So this is like where your antagonist is a monkey that was like a family.
Right.
Maybe the issue is
basically the concept of like the woman who had her face ripped off.
Right.
And just to be clear, this is like a chimp, not like Marcel from Friends.
Exactly. Yeah. No. Exactly. This is a monkey that can kick your ass. But yeah, I like horror, and this is intriguing enough. I will give any horror pretty much a shot. This is, I think, somewhere between B and top tier horror.
Yeah.
Do you have a 10 or no?
No, it's kind of all over the place.
All right. Well, then I'll move on to number 9, and then we can go back and forth. 9 for me, again, I can't believe this fell so far, but Coyote versus Acme. So excited.
Oh, yeah.
So excited to finally see this movie.
I'm like tepidly optimistic about it because I like the concept, and if I'm not mistaken, Sandberg is in it, right?
Maybe. I know Will...
Oh, that's what it is. Will Forte.
Yeah, he's in it.
They have very energy.
Yeah.
Very same energy. Not very energy, very same energy.
There's another like live action person in it that's like his foil. I forget who it is though.
I like the idea of it being Will Forte and Will Arnett.
Oh god. Actually it might be.
That would work out really well.
But yeah, and also if it's good and it performs well, it gives me hope that we might see Batgirl one day. What do you got?
So we already talked about The Legend of Aang and Toy Story 5. You give me some Toy Story, I'll be very happy.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're going to be able to screw up that franchise. So we're kind of at my number 8 at this point.
Okay.
So if you want, we can go to your number 8.
Well, then my number 8 is Super Mario Galaxy.
Oh, yeah. I don't even have that on here. I probably should.
I'm surprised.
Yeah. We'll take out Odyssey. Go fuck yourself, Odyssey. Am I allowed to say that on radio?
Yes.
And by the way, the only Odyssey that I do want to see is Super Mario Odyssey, the movie. It's just, Christopher Nolan's Odyssey just has to dip off this list then.
So I had my like highbrow movie that I think 10 to, well, no, I'm old. 15 to 20 years ago, I probably would have put Disclosure Day in my list.
Disclosure Day is the Spielberg film.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But like, I'm just so like, I am who I am, and I like what I like now,
We're very pop culture-y and like popcorn fun.
I'll see that movie for sure.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
it's not like a huge thing I'm looking forward to.
Yep.
Super Mario Galaxy, despite maybe the main guy behind the voice,
You mean just not Mario. Like,
Yeah.
just I can't believe they had probably one of the most popular characters ever from a vocal perspective, and they just went, yeah, we're going to completely do away with the thing that makes him famous.
Yeah, but you know what? It didn't take away from the first movie. I liked the first movie. I forget how it ranked for me.
Do you know what it is? It's that Mario really doesn't have that much presence. Everybody else is the one who's really making it pop. From Bowser to Luigi to Donkey Kong.
I'll be curious how they do it in this one because they're just expanding upon the characters, right?
Right.
I think I've heard a big rumor that they're going to set up Smash Brothers at the post credits of this. So
I hope so.
We might get. I'll be curious what version of Sonic we get. If it's like going to be a Sonic that's like this world's version, not that one, or the Sonic that we know from the movies.
Yeah.
I would love it to be that Sonic. Like I would love for that to be.
Well, and realistically, like that's in play because they've got the live action Zelda movie. How are you going to do Smash Brothers with a
right?
There's got to be some kind of thing that you're doing to connect all that tissue.
But yeah, I'm excited for that one. That's my number 8.
So we already talked about Odyssey, so we can take that down.
That's
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that trailer.
Yeah.
Or maybe
He always does an impressive job, right? Like he was the one that did Oppenheimer.
Very
all of his movies are really good. I just don't. The trailer didn't do enough to tell me what it is yet.
Right.
And the Odyssey is supposed to be a big deal, and I don't know how you cram that into one film.
movie. Yeah, again, that's another one that's like probably 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago would be on my list. But like, again, I'll probably watch it, but not in my top 10.
Right.
My number 7, there's going to be a big theme in my list this year.
A lot of horrors.
It's a mix of horror and pop culture. Ready or Not 2.
I got that.
Which makes me want to see it. I don't remember the first one at all. Was her name Samantha?
Samara?
Samara Weaving?
Samara Weaving, yeah.
Was she in the first? I guess she was in the first one.
She was the main character in the first one. And the whole concept is she like ends up joining this family thinking like, you know, they're just eccentric.
Yeah.
And the whole premise is that they're hunting her.
Yeah.
So the second movie kind of opens up the world a little bit more, and it's not just the family.
Yeah. First of all, amazing cast in the second one. Also, Samara Weaving is like one of my favorite like horror actresses now. She was in was it called The Babysitter Killers or something like that on Netflix? There was like 2 movies. She was like this it was like this cult.
I know that there was one movie that she wasn't in, but you might confuse her with someone else because there was that movie that was kind of like a horror in Back to the Future.
That's I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's the Happy Death Day one. Oh no, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's on Amazon. Time to Kill. No, maybe Time to Kill.
It might be Time to Kill.
That was also a good movie.
Yeah.
But no, on Netflix there's 2 babysitter movies. The first one is she's like the big name. Robbie Amell is in it as well, and then the second one has Jenna Ortega in it. But she's like a horror actress that I really like.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's not like a funny horror. It's like
it's like a.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I'm sure it can be, but like it's sold as a.
It's a serious horror.
Yeah.
It's like a cult horror. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I do know what you're talking about now.
But Samara Weaving is like she's become one of my favorite actresses in that genre. That's on your list as well?
Ready or Not is on my list. Let's throw one that maybe you haven't said yet.
Okay.
In here. Send Help.
Not on my list. What is
Send
that?
Help is Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien, and she's like a secretary at like an office, and he's the boss and everything, and he and his coworkers or whatever, they treat her very poorly, and I think she might have like a little bit of a crush on him or something like that, but they end up like taking a business trip and end up crashing on a deserted island, and he ends up like breaking a leg or something like that, and like they rely on her to keep them alive, and she is unhinged, and it's fantastic.
I didn't pay attention to the trailer, but yes, it does look pretty good. I would have to rewatch the trailer to see where it's at.
We have previously liked Dylan O'Brien. He's a little bit weird these days.
Yeah,
but
he was in like the movie version of Percy Jackson, right?
no, he just looks like Logan Lerman.
Oh.
No, he's from Maze Runner and Teen
okay.
Wolf.
Okay.
And he was fantastic in Teen Wolf.
He may have also been in a Kevin Smith movie. I'm not sure. He may have been in Red State. I forget.
Maybe. He would have been pretty young, though, I think.
Yeah. Oh, no. He was in Sky High, right?
No, I don't think so.
All right, moving on. My number 6, again, this is a big shocker how far this fell. Evil Dead Burn.
I didn't even know that that's a thing.
Yeah, so they seem to be doing like an anthology type thing with the Evil Dead now. So I actually don't know where this goes. I don't think there's a trailer out. I just read the plot synopsis, but this started probably number 2 or 3 on my list. And I love Evil Dead movies. It's a shame that like they, Bruce Campbell's obviously older now, so like Ash Williams really isn't part of that stuff anymore. But the last Evil Dead Rise was really good. Taking that concept and bringing it to New York City was like such a kind of a cool thing to see. This style, and they're so much more serious now. They're so much more like actual horror versus the campy horror that they used to be.
Right. Yeah, when you don't have a budget, you kind of have to lean into the campiness.
But I do love that Evil Dead has seemingly turned into more of an anthology than a interconnected universe. What do you got next?
Scream 7?
Oh, that's my number 1.
Is it your number 1?
That is my 1 for 1.
The Scream has for me, it's only had like one real misstep, right? And it's that 4th movie.
Yeah, and even that's not a terrible. I mean, it's not great. I will watch it. I still watch it to watch it.
Oh, you know what? I'm not giving it its fair credit. For some reason, 4 sticks out to me as like the poorer of the 2 movies that I dislike more. And actually 3 is not that great. 4 kind of, it didn't bring it back the right way, but it's still better than 3.
Yeah, and I mean, I like them all. I like every single one. I think 3 and 4 are the 2 weakest in the entire franchise. 4 is what you wanted out of 4 is what you got out of 5, which is like reinventing the franchise that reinvented the genre.
Right. And the nice thing is like they didn't completely say I'm done with this. Like they brought Kirby back and stuff like that. So
that movie is still very. I mean, I guess maybe going into 7, it's not so much. But I mean, in the previous movie, she was at least a small part. And
I think she might even be in the 7th one.
Maybe I have no idea. She's not in the trailer. Maybe she just.
I can't remember. It's been a little bit since I've seen the trailer.
She's also like, even from 6, she's like grown up in a way. Hayden Panettiere.
Yeah.
In a way where like she looks like more mature, so she might be in that trailer. I didn't recognize her.
I am a little pissed off that we don't have Melissa Barrera or whatever.
And Jenna Ortega.
Jenna Ortega's not in it either.
No, when
Melissa.
Yeah, she stepped away. Jenna Ortega stepped away, and so did the director of that 5 and 6 franchise.
I mean, and that's good. That's the way that you should do it for the reasons that you're doing it. And the other thing too is like that was one of the best storylines in it was, have your killer kind of be like the voice of the conscience almost.
Yeah, I am disappointed that we're kind of going away from the newer storyline and going back to the old stuff. I thought it was ready for like the what was nice about Neve Campbell not returning in 6.
It let other people breathe.
Yeah, and it finally let that let the story go from her and move on from Sydney.
Who's the husband in this one? I know it's not Joel McHale, right?
It's a different Joel. Yeah. It's Joel something another, I think.
And crucially, it's not Dr. McDreamy.
No. Yeah. It's the ironically, the husband's name I believe is Mark, but it's a different Mark than from I don't know if
from
McDreamy,
3, right?
Yeah, there was a Mark that she was with.
Right.
Different Mark, different actor. We've never seen him before. But yeah, I'm psyched. Scream is by far my favorite horror movie of all time. Evil Dead is probably... Scream might be overtaking as my favorite horror franchise just because it's an interconnected universe from 1 through 7, whereas Evil Dead has gone anthology. But, I mean... if I'm looking at the initial first 3 movies, Evil Dead's my favorite franchise. Scream is my favorite. The original one's my favorite horror movie of all time. So I'm really excited. It seems like this could be a nice little maybe bookend to the story of Sydney if they decide to go further. But yeah, my 1 for 1. I love this franchise.
Very nice.
Number 5 for me is Supergirl.
Supergirl's on my list too. Probably my number 4.
Supergirl for me. I love what James Gunn is doing with DC. I'm actually kind of shocked that I didn't put it above some other ones that are going to be on both our lists, only because Marvel right now is kind of, I feel like, in a cinematic low, right. Whereas DC is in a high. Marvel,
and we'll talk about it as we get there. I feel like Doomsday has. We'll talk about it more when we get there.
But yeah, Supergirl's my number 5. You just mentioned Supergirl, so I'll go right to number 4, which is Spider-Man: Brand New Day. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that's on your list as well.
Sure is.
Where's that about on your list?
So I didn't number these, but as I was reviewing it, I think Supergirl's my number 4, Spider-Man's my number 3.
Yeah, so it's very little because Scream is my number 1. Mm-hmm. Mine's very similar to yours. Spider-Man, I love this kid. Tobey Maguire will always be my Spider-Man, but Tom Holland, I think, is a complete package of that character.
Right, and I think we're about to see some really messed up stuff. Well, no, I shouldn't say messed up. Really cool stuff in that there's going to be so many freaking characters in this movie. Like, it's not going to, it's going to be their doomsday, because I don't think Spidey or these other characters are going to feature so hard or heavily in that movie. I think this is kind of going to be like we've talked about before how like Doomsday needs to be 3 movies basically.
Right.
And I think that this is kind of like the prequel to Doomsday. Yeah. Then you've got Doomsday, then you've got Secret Wars. And I think you're going to slip some of these characters into Secret Wars. Because Spider-Man is going to have the return of Matt Gargan, which is really important. I feel like it's been 3 movies. Scorpion, I think he's the lead villain, to the best of my knowledge. I would imagine you probably also have JJJ like facilitating a lot of that stuff. Yeah. But you've also got the Punisher, you've got whoever Sadie Sink is playing, and you've got the Incredible Hulk, who is going to be a big character as well. I'm really interested to see like how they work MJ in and Ned in. I mean, this is the opportunity to have Ned eventually become the Hobgoblin, because they don't know each other anymore. Right. And unless the curse is broken, which you would think at that point would break the multiverse again. Right. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe that's what leads to the incursions in Doomsday. It's true. Like they're saying that it's something that's happening in X-Men, and we've speculated that it might be because of something that happened in Deadpool or Wolverine or something like that, or Logan, I should say. It's going to be interesting to see how it all happens. I think it's wild that it's July, right? It's a July movie? I think so, yeah. And that we don't have a teaser trailer yet. Yeah, I know. I think we're probably going to see it at the Super Bowl, and they're waiting for that. I agree. I do wish they would just not. Like, I'm okay with waiting and seeing, because I don't want to know who Sadie Sink is playing at all. Right. When you tell me that it's Tobey Maguire's kid, I'm going to be pissed, because I want to find that out. And I don't know if that's the case. I know that was a rumor. I don't think that it is. I think that was an early rumor, but I think they're going a little bit more cosmic with who she is. Okay. I've also seen speculation that it's Jean Grey. I don't think that that's accurate either. That would also be wild to me. I guess unless it's the 616's Jean Grey, but right. Spider-Man: Brand New Day. I'm always, and I think the nice thing, like if you look at all the different MCU movies, like the Spider-Man ones tend to be good. Like they're all pretty good. Like it's a solid franchise within the MCU. Right. I think that they get the guidance that they need to make good stuff with that. I mean, it's no Morbius and it's no Craven or anything like that. If you compare it to the rest of the Spider-Man universe. Yeah. I just give it back, Sony. You guys aren't doing it right. Yeah. However, I will say I've heard that the reason that a lot of their stuff is bad is because it's like a family of like, people who don't want to work with one another. Right, yeah. So. I've heard the same thing. Since we both said Spider-Man, my number 3 is, and again,
shocker that this is number 3 and not number 1 or 2. Mando and Grogu.
Yeah, I mean, I had considered that. I don't think that I've watched the 3rd season, so I think I'm a little bit behind. And again, like the same problem that you have with like the MCU, sometimes it feels like you have to do homework to enjoy something.
Well, and I mean, the nice thing with Mando and Grogu is the only homework you have to do is likely the 3 seasons of
Right.
Mandalorian. I don't think this is... I remember once upon a time, the idea was that they were going to have the Mandalorian series, Ahsoka, and the different series under Favreau and Filoni lead to a movie event. I don't think that's what this is. I think this is just, instead of doing a 4th season, I think they're just doing a Mando event.
I wonder if like it's to see, can we make any more money on top of
Right.
Like,
I am curious as to why they would decide to go from let's call it a 8 to 10 hour story down to probably about 2.5 hours, because I think Star Wars, and this goes back to when Mando first kind of dropped. Maybe during season 2, I talked about it. I did this. I was a speaker at Nerd Night Philly, and my topic was how Star Wars belongs on the small screen. I think Star Wars now. I mean, there's the movies. The Skywalker saga is episodic in nature. So Star Wars has taught us from the 70s that, well, we'll say, I guess maybe whenever Empire came out, because it wasn't originally episode 4.
Yeah.
But from the beginning, almost, they taught us that these stories were episodic, which is all television based.
Right.
So I think it makes more sense to keep Star Wars on the small screen. You get more room to breathe and tell a good story, but that's just me. I have faith in Favreau and Filoni, more so than the mess that the sequel trilogy was. And I know, hey, I know that there's an audience out there that loves those movies. I'm not talking, you love them, that's great. I don't hate them. I just think that the behind the scenes stuff was a mess, and I think, now with Filoni kind of in charge of some of that stuff, it helps kind of give it a vision.
It guides it forward.
It gives it, yeah. So that's my number 3. What do you got?
So my number 2, I think, is Doomsday.
Yeah, that's my number 2 as well.
I'm interested to find out what your 1 is.
It's Scream 7.
Oh yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah, so I already get.
Yeah. So Doomsday is my number 2. I definitely have a lot of hope, optimism for it, because I do think that the Russos have a good handle on what they want to do with the character, with the story. I don't think that they gave the Russos the room that it needed to be, because I still think that they screwed things up with Kang Dynasty and everything, and this is a pivot, and I think just recast, right?
Yeah.
But I am also hopeful that my optimism is not misplaced.
If anyone can make Doomsday and the story that they're trying to pivot to here work, I think it is the Russos. I think they're, and obviously Feige is in charge of a lot of this stuff as well, but obviously he's part of the slip up that they've been having. Mm-hmm. I think there's 2 sets of directors that I would trust. Well, no, 3 sets of directors that I would trust the MCU with, without question. Favreau, James Gunn, and the Russo brothers.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So that, I mean, I have faith that they will right the ship, as it were.
Right. And I know a lot of the concerns is that, there's so many characters, but Endgame had a lot of characters too, right? I don't think that you use them all the same way, right? At the end of Endgame, when everybody got unsnapped,
right,
they counted towards your characters, and you got to see that in a big action sequence. So I would imagine you're going to have something like that here. You're going to have little pieces of teams, and then when you bring everything together for the final battle for this movie, you're going to see those kind of things coalesce.
Yeah.
It's not like everybody is going to have 3 minutes or anything like that. You're going to have people who have one line and they move on.
Yeah. I can't imagine Kelsey Grammer's Beast having a huge role in this film.
Right. He'll show up in whatever spot that they need him for the X-Men, and then he'll likely either get the crap kicked out of him, die, or switch sides to someone, and that'll be set up for Secret Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm interested in all that. I'm interested in how they end up getting Kang Captain America back. If it's even him, right? Like they said that. Did they say Captain America or did they say Steve Rogers? Right. And there's a lot of different Steve Rogers in the multiverse, right? Like we could see the Hydra Steve Rogers, which would be badass. We could, and I'm also interested, right? Like you can cast RDJ as Doom, but there's a reason for it. And I'm interested to see what they do with that in mind.
Yeah, I mean, the rumor of it, like, oh well, he was Doom all along. Like, I hate that. Yeah, and I understand that there is a reason for it. Like, there's comic book history to go with that storyline. I just think that's weak sauce. Yeah, I think there's a better way to do it in live action. But again, I have faith in the Russos. I have faith that RDJ wouldn't take this role on if he didn't believe in the Russos. Yeah. So I just, the biggest issue is that it feels like it's being rushed to get to this point. We haven't even, and nor will we really see Doom until this movie. Right. We just get a glimpse of him in Fantastic Four. Right. And that's it.
I mean, he's definitely not going to have the same presence that you got from Thanos. And there's an argument to be made that like people know who Doom is based on the fact that there are 3 other movies that he would have featured in. Right. The Ian Gruffold, Jessica Alba movies. And did Julian McMahon pass away recently? Didn't he?
He did. Yeah, he was the. At least, I mean, I guess there was a Fantastic Four movie in the 90s. I don't know if Doom featured, but he was the original Doom.
Right. And then the Miles Teller.
Whoever played Doom.
Trask's Fantastic Four, which, I don't know that many people have seen that because it was so badly lambasted. Yeah. But anyway, maybe that's the only reason that you don't give your Doom a chance to breathe and shine and grow and stuff like that. It is weird that we didn't see him with Fantastic Four, even if it was like to set up. Like, he didn't have to be the villain of that story.
Well, and I also, it is, I've never seen a Fantastic story necessarily without Doom being involved, but that's how this Fantastic Four story was presented. Right. Now, they are also presented with, like, they have plenty of history, so there's no reason that Doom doesn't already exist in that universe, and he was thought to be dead or taken care of or whatever, so we don't really know. Very curious to see what happens in December with this movie.
There's also speculation that, like, we see Doom and then at the end it's not RDJ. Like, he's wearing a mask that's similar to, like, Black Widow's, where it's like he's purposely wearing a Tony Stark face to mess with people. Yeah. But it ends up being a completely different actor at the end of that. Like, you end up with, like, a Cillian Murphy or something like that. Anyway.
So what's your number one?
So have you ever seen The Martian?
Yeah.
So the guy who wrote that book wrote another book, and that's coming out. It's starring Ryan Gosling. Okay. Project Hail Mary.
Oh, I just saw it in passing. I haven't seen any kind of.
The Martian. Anything. Martian is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Such a good movie. Yeah.
And this one's a little less hard science. It's more sci-fi.
Gotcha.
The concept of the movie is people discover that stars are actually dying, and it's not just a situation where it's their time. There's almost like a virus that's infecting these stars, including eventually our sun. And they basically like send this school teacher who's also like a genius into space with the idea that like he's going to try and bring back the information that we need to save our sun. And with The Martian, like, everything was like, okay, I could see it. Like, it all makes sense and everything like that. But in this one, like, he ends up meeting an alien and stuff like that.
Oh,
like,
wow.
Interesting. He's trying to teach him how to do like the thumbs up and everything. And it's these two people from like very like vastly different like worlds are coming together to try and save the universe. Basically.
I'm really curious about that one. Now that, that probably would have made my top 10. Like, I would probably at least put it at 10 and knock Primate off, because that sounds like such a cool idea, and it's a little less serious than Disclosure Day, it sounds like.
Yeah. And we don't know enough about Disclosure Day yet. This trailer has been around for a couple of months now, because evidently the book is incredible.
Yeah, I need to go back and I want to go and read The Martian. Anyway. All right, so that is movies. Do you want to take the quick lead on video games?
Sure. So I'm not going to go for the ones that I think that you're going to mention, Although I don't know.
I
if
have
you-
no 2026 games on my list
Okay,
because
alrighty.
there's really. I'm not a big gamer, and I went through like a list, and I didn't really see anything that jumped out. So if I play video games in 2026, I'm going to use it to catch up on stuff that I haven't played yet.
And this is going to be weird too because I no longer have the system, but I am interested in the Marvel Wolverine game. That looks really good. It's
Is that
the
coming
same.
out this year?
Yeah, I think so.
I must have skipped
It
past
might have been
on my list.
2027, but I thought that 2026 was Wolverine. 2027 was going to be the third Spider-Man game, I think. But it's made by the same people. It's made by Insomniac. It's made by the people who do Spider-Man. So they clearly have a love for the universe and the characters and everything like that. And it's presented as that kind of cinematic. Like you haven't had a chance to play the new Spider-Man game yet, right?
No, I have not played it.
Spider-Man 1 was really great. Spider-Man 2 was fantastic because they adapt the Kraven and Venom storyline. Or Kraven and Venom storylines. And it's so freaking good. Like it's wild that the Sony Spider-Man game is better than the movies that we got for Morbius and Kraven. And I'll even say Venom. Like, Venom was a good movie for those who liked it.
Venom is so crazy and so, like, it's not bad. It's just so batshit crazy and, like, a wild concept because it was the first one to, and it just worked in a wheel. I love those movies for what they are. But they're not good.
Right. But so I am excited for what they can do with Wolverine. He's got such a big presence in like the comic universe. I am interested in seeing what they do there.
I would be curious because I love ironically, I believe it was called X-Men Origins Wolverine, the game.
Yes, and that wasn't bad either.
The game was really good compared to the movie.
Right. And like it wasn't like it did like big cutscenes or anything like that. It just it leaned into who the character was, and it was just it's brutal. And that's what this one looks like too. This one looks vicious.
Yeah. That excites me.
So Fable is finally coming back in 2026 if it's to be believed. And the early trailers for it make it look like it's embracing the silly, it's embracing the weird and the funny. Part of what has me excited for it is just that it's been so long. Like they canceled a couple of Fable games already. I want to see what they do here. I want to see if like the notion of like the good versus evil acts, if they still are a piece of this. Like there's just so much that I don't know about what they're doing here.
Yeah, I need to go back and play those games because I've played a little bit of them here and there.
Yep. There's a James Bond movie that's coming out.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it looks like probably like the first fully realized 007 game since GoldenEye. Like GoldenEye, it wasn't its own thing or anything like that, right? Like First Light is going to be its own thing. It's not based on any movie property or anything. It's just, hey, we're going to make a property using, James Bond. And this one looks like. Did you hear that they canceled the Perfect Dark game that was coming out?
I remember that. I mean, I feel like I heard about this a long time ago.
Well,
the game at least. I didn't hear about the cancellation.
The game like 2 or 3 years ago they did like a trailer for it and it looked spectacular. And they canceled that. And this looks like maybe like the gadgety kind of goodness. Like I know that there's a part of my lizard brain that thinks they're connected because of Rare, because Perfect Dark was, a game that came out on the Nintendo 64 and felt very much like GoldenEye.
Yeah.
But this one, I don't know. There's something about it. Like I want it on my radar for sure. There's nothing even official about it, but it's the 40th anniversary of Super Mario, and there's no Super Mario game that's been announced. But
that's crazy.
I have to think
they're
that
doing something.
There's got to be something, right? Yeah. Like the movie is going to be out. I really am excited to see what I'm hoping is going to be like an open world version of Mario, right? Like they kind of teased something like that with Bowser's Fury when they did that, where like there was so much that you could do in the world and you could do it at your own pace. You could do it wherever you wanted. And I want to see something like that. I feel like that's something that they could do here.
Well, I mean, I guess, and I haven't played it, but they teased that idea with Mario Kart. Like, isn't there an open world concept?
Yes, that's like one track leads to another and everything. And they're definitely doing more open world stuff. Like Kirby it was more of a like an Odyssey type thing, and certainly Donkey Kong Bonanza is kind of like that. I very much want to see if they have the ability to do that and make a world where it's like you can travel from one side of it to the next, and you'll find missions and stuff like that. Right. But it's not like you're going into a portrait. Or going to a planet or anything like that.
Or need stars to unlock a certain area.
Right. I would like it where, like, if you unlocked a power-up that you could then use a box to get, and then, all right, I needed that power-up I needed a fire flower to burn my way through vines that were, like, blocking this cave or something like that. That's the dream, Kev.
Yeah.
So that's not the only Nintendo property that I'm excited for. I'm a big fan of like the Minecraft-y kind of games. So I like Minecraft. I like Dragon Quest Builders. Currently I'm playing Fantasy Life. And they've got a Pokemon one that's coming out soon.
Interesting.
Pokopia. And basically the concept is that as you build your island, certain things that you can kind of build will summon Pokemon to your area. So like if you have like a certain amount of like field space, like you might be able to get like a Charizard or something like that. And then you can use the Charizard power to light fires and things like that.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I think that it's coming out within the next 2 months or so. I don't know for sure. It would be nice because I'm 60 hours into maybe 70 hours into Fantasy Life. So like you give it another 2 weeks and I'll be at the 300 hours or so that you need. I'm very excited for Pokopia. I'm not like a huge Pokemon fan.
Yeah.
Like I've never played any of the mainline games. I like the spin-off kind of stuff. And I feel like they do the spin-off stuff well. So that's coming.
There was like Pokemon Arceus or whatever that came out on the Switch that was pretty good. I didn't finish it. And
if I'm not mistaken, was Arceus the one where like the graphics were fucking god awful though?
The graphics were very similar to like Pokemon Go and
it was on the Switch, right?
Yeah, and Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
Yeah,
it was the same graphic.
And it's like
it wasn't. There's definitely systems that have better or games with better graphics on the Switch.
Right. Well, and the thing about it is, like, Game Freak has so much money. Right. Like, stop treating your audience
You could totally, and I just feel like they do it because, like, oh, this is Pokemon. Like, what else do we need? But you could totally give that, like, a real, like Monster Hunter level graphics.
And if I'm not mistaken, Pal World came out the same year.
Yeah, I think it did.
And Pal World was gorgeous, right? Yeah. Like, so, like, and again, they didn't have Game Freak money. Game Freak makes money hand over fist every year because they're always doing at least one Pokemon project.
Right. And like I'm sure people still play Pokemon Go and still dump money into it.
Yep. All right. Grounded 2. We talked about how that was a game that I really enjoyed last year, but technically it's not out yet. It's only in pre-release.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I'd really like to see like what they do with that game. Right now in the pre-release, there's 2 buggies that you can use. You've got the ant buggy and you've got a spider buggy. But I really want to see like what else they do. Like that's the main feature of the game is like, hey, you're going to be able to ride bugs.
Yeah.
So I want to see like what happens when can you ride a scorpion? Can you ride a praying mantis? Can you ride a bee? There's a lot to look forward to with that. The original Grounded was one of my favorite games, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with that as well. And then I only have one other game. I think it might be the one that I'm looking forward to the most, and it's do you recall me telling you about a game called Dismantle a couple years ago now? It was one of my top games of the year, either 2 or 3 years ago. And the whole concept is it's an isometric game where you wake up in a post-apocalyptic zombie universe.
I vaguely remember this.
And the whole thing is like you're breaking things to make things, right? It's Minecraft-ish.
Yeah.
So like you have to break down a door to get the equipment to make a weapon, and you have to and it's got like a skill tree that's based on what you're breaking down, hence the name Dismantle stuff like that. They are doing a fantasy version called Displaced. And the key art that they have on the website is a guy that looks like a knight, but his shield is like an interstate route marker.
Oh, that is so... You start blending that stuff with modern where I'm so in.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, it looks like Dismantled was also multiplayer. So this looks like it's multiplayer. It's just leaning more into like fantasy vibes than zombie vibes.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
cool.
Still got the same stuff where like you're dismantling things and stuff like that. Just hey, we're going to take the engine and we're going to do a new story with it. And Dismantle was a game where I spent like dozens of hours playing, and I'm hoping to do the same here. I don't even know definitively. They say 2026, but you never know when.
With games. I mean, GTA 6 has been coming out every year for the last decade, it feels like. I don't have anything for 2026. I just have games that I either started playing or want to play that I just want to try to play more of. Star Wars Outlaws is a fantastic, like, Star Wars game that's not your typical like flying in space type of stuff.
And it's Ubisoft that made the game, right? So it follows like a lot of their like Far Cry feel or Avatar Frontiers of Pandora.
And I don't have it listed here, but along with that, like I stopped playing Fallen Jedi and that therefore have never played the sequel to it either. So I want to play those games again. Indiana Jones I haven't played yet. I really want to play that.
No, I'm a couple hours in, and it is good. I just ended up playing Fantasy Life around the same time.
I started Hogwarts Legacy. That's kind of fun, despite I'm not a Harry Potter guy at all. I probably like that less.
You're not a Potterhead?
No, I probably like it less than Lord of the Rings. And I don't hate either project or either IP. It's just they're not my thing.
Right. You're a little less fantasy and a little more sci-fi.
Yeah. Funny enough, Final Fantasy, I want to go back to my playthrough with those. Like, that's my high-level fantasy. Is the world of Final Fantasy games is perfect fantasy for me. And then I want to go back and play some of the Telltale games. Like, I want to do a replay of Back to the Future, because that's probably my favorite, even though The Walking Dead has so many different chapters and stuff.
Yeah.
I think the Back to the Future one has probably got the best solid story, and is like widely considered the fourth movie, the fourth story.
Yeah.
Because it's so well done. But I also want to go back because I didn't finish. I played a lot of the Walking Dead seasons, but I didn't finish like.
Yeah,
I think there was a season 3 I didn't play, and then there was like a spinoff for Michonne.
I don't know that I ever got to season 2. I remember like going to the farm, and I think that was around the time that I stopped.
Yeah, I mean, I forget where season 2 takes place, but like Walking Dead. Now,
season 1 ends with the character that you're playing dying, right? Like,
I don't
spoilers.
think there's a way for him to live.
Right. I mean, we're talking about a game that's 15 years old now.
But like, what I feel like what I love about The Walking Dead over Back to the Future, even though the Back to the Future one has a better story, is that like your decisions do matter. Now, they only matter so much because, like I said, I don't think there's a world where he lives. Like, because the whole point of the second one is Clementine's on her own,
right?
Or with like a new group. But in the second one, what I love is that if you use your save from the first one, like your choices matter in that second one. There are characters that can be alive,
right,
or dead, and they will show up depending on what happened in your first season playthrough.
Right.
And along with that, I've never played Wolf Among Us, and I want to play that. I want to give that a shot.
The Werewolf Among Us, or
I think it's called Wolf Among Us. Maybe it's Werewolf. I don't know. But it's the.
I know what you're talking about.
It's the fairy tale game.
Right.
I've never played that,
and that's supposed to be really good too, from my understanding.
Yeah, and I don't know where it falls in line of like, do your decisions matter through chapter to chapter, or if it's more like Back to the Future where it's just a solid story. But that's kind of. Now I really want to play that Dismantle game after you remind me about it, and I do want to give I played Grounded for like literally like 20 minutes. I want to give that like a proper playthrough because I feel like I would like that. But yeah. That's video games. We're gonna
you want to do a TV?
Let's do super quick TV because we're at the 48-minute mark here.
Yeah, we're not gonna spend too much time talking TV because most of the stuff we talked about last time.
Right, and I literally have 6 things on my list.
Me too.
My honorable mention is The Boys. I do like that show. Season 5, final season. I believe.
Yeah. I think they're still going to be playing in the universe because like Gen V is still around and stuff like that. But
I mean, I like that. I like that story enough. It's fun. I like everyone involved with it. I really like. I mean, I'm a big fan of Jack Quaid and
Carl Urban.
Big fan of those guys. How did you do it? Do you have it numbered?
I don't have it numbered or anything. I'll say I'm excited for the game shows to come back. I really like 99 to Beat and The Floor and 1% Club and stuff.
No game shows on mine. Mine are all scripted series. Number 5 for me is Wonder Man.
I forgot about that. That's coming up soon, 26th.
Like 26th or 27th this month. Yeah. So like by the time you're listening, well, no, not by the time you're listening to this, but next week, if you're listening to this day and date, next week, I think you can go watch
And
it.
the nice thing about that too is like that's what Marvel TV should be, right? Like that was what She-Hulk was. That's what WandaVision was. Like you're gonna play with formulas instead of it just being a show. It's I think the only one that kind of felt like it didn't do it right was Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I feel like that was the only one that didn't need to be a TV show.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So the issue with that, in my opinion, is that originally that was supposed to be the first series released. And I think that the reason it was made the way it was made is because it was very familiar.
Yep.
It felt like it should have been a movie, because it was the same formula that they use in their movies. And it was and my biggest issue with it was that it was trying to tell a story, but it didn't want to it was tiptoeing around the story.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to tell this racial story, tell the fucking story.
Right.
Don't tiptoe around it and pretend like, oh, we don't want to get the conservatives mad. Like, fucking tell the goddamn story.
Right.
Who gives a fuck?
It's the reality of what we live in.
Right. But that being said, COVID screwed everything up. Yeah. So WandaVision ended up being the first one released, and I think most of their series, I feel that I have at least watched. Now I haven't watched like Ironheart or Echo yet, or Daredevil Born Again. I'm behind on my Marvel TV, but most of their TV is like unique. Like they're doing interesting things. I don't know if Wonder Man's really doing that. I'm not.
Oh, for sure, because the whole concept of Wonder Man is is the actor who's trying to pretend that he doesn't have powers while they're filming this show or movie or whatever it is. So it's they always do like some kind of twist for the good stuff anyway. I don't know. I'm interested in seeing what they do with it. I am a little disappointed that it wasn't Nathan Fillion.
I was going to say the same thing. I was like, that's my biggest issue is it's not Nathan Fillion.
Right. Who has been Wonder Man in the MODOK series. Yeah. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, he was in a poster.
He was on
something.
a poster. Yeah. It was like, here's a movie starring Simon whatever.
Yep.
So number 4, speaking of Nathan Fillion, is Lanterns. For me, I love the idea of space cops, and I'm really curious after seeing like a well done Green Lantern in Superman, like how this show is going to connect to the greater DC, because this show has been talked about before James Gunn. Yeah. Like was now I think the original show was going to be helmed by the guy that did Arrowverse, Berlanti. Okay. I don't know if Berlanti's still involved with this. If he is, it's probably by name only.
Right. What is Berlanti even doing these days?
I have no idea. But I mean, he has at least he had a whole deal with WB.
Yeah. Hey, Berlanti, I got a whole fantasy universe if you want a helmet.
What do you got?
So I got a lot of comedies and stuff like that in here, but also some dramas. Animal Control.
I've never seen. That's the Joel McHale one, right?
Yes,
yeah, I need to go. I need to watch that.
That's really fun. It just came back. The whole shtick of this season is they're bringing in another precinct, like another precinct closed down, and they had to bring in like the people who were in that precinct. And we've seen some of the characters and everything, so it's just hilarity ensues.
I'm just going to run down my last 3 real quick, and if we want to talk about them, we'll talk about them. This one's kind of, it's a special more than it is a show, but The Muppet Show is coming back. I'm excited about that. Atlas Season 2 Live is coming out.
Yeah, I didn't even have that on here, which is wild. And it's like I pretend that it doesn't exist because we still have to go through all our stuff.
Well, and like I literally, other than looking at a list, like I know nothing. I'm trying to stay away from the trailers for it.
Right, and realistically, like we get 2 more or 3 more episodes in the cartoon, and like you're free to go nuts at that point.
The thing I'm looking forward to the most is Spider Noir. I'm really interested.
Is that a TV show?
That's a TV show. Okay. Yeah, it's
Nicolas Cage, right?
Nicolas Cage
reprising his role from the cartoon, but in live action.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same character. Right. It might be like, I think it's separate, but I love Nicolas Cage as a Spider-Man.
One of my favorite things was Shattered Dimensions, Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, where like you would play like the various different Spider-Mans. Yeah. And Spider-Man Noir was one of my favorite ones to do because it feels a little bit like the Batman Arkham games.
Yes, I agree. Totally agree.
One of mine is High Potential. Which I don't know if you've seen any of it yet. It's basically like Sweet D as a Sherlockian character.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of like those CSI procedural crime shows, and like I liked Cold Case and stuff like that. And it's like that, and we talked about we like Psych and everything like that. It's just a genius character who she retains information really well. She's got like an eidetic memory, so like she learns something on TV and then like is able to draw back on it and stuff like that. And there's like a little like a B story, I guess, behind it where she's trying to find like her husband who disappeared years and years before. We talked last week about The Pit coming back. That actually the first episode of that just came back. It's again the 24 style show where it's actually 16 hours of a medical shift.
Right.
And it's just I don't know why, but I like stress when I'm going through that kind of content. I like The Bear for the same reason. There's something about that kind of stuff that like hits me the right way. Ghosts season 4 is on a hiatus, but I think in early February it comes back. And that's just like a feel good comedy about ghosts haunting a house and a woman who can.
I've watched
see it.
bits. I've watched episodes here and there. I feel like I just need to get it. I just need to like give it the time that I need to watch it.
Yep. And then Paradise, which I also mentioned last week or 2 weeks ago or whatever, which you still haven't seen, right?
No.
All right. And you got to watch the first episode.
Yeah.
I mean,
I need to remember after this.
You're gonna watch like the first 15 minutes, and you're gonna be like, okay, it's Cyclops as the president. I like that. And then you're gonna get to minute 60 of the 60-minute episode, and you're gonna be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. All right. I'll have to put that on my to watch list.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, before we wrap up officially, there's a couple books that aren't coming out in this year that are on my list to read, but we're not going to talk about them because they didn't come out this year. Chuck Wendig, some Batman stuff. That's all you need to know.
And then your creative stuff.
And then, so creatively, I don't know if you have, like, any plans for this year.
I got 3 things that I would like to see happen. I don't know if they're plans, but, like, I'm trying to I'm putting them in my mental vision board.
Well, the 3 things that I have, one of them I can't really talk about because it's such a big project. I don't really want to put it out there yet. But you and I are both kind of working on that.
Yeah.
It's just like I'll call it a community. It's like a community of creators is that kind of what we're working on.
We're working on a stable of people that we can rely on for our projects.
Right. But it's actual entertainment as well.
Yes.
So it's actual content. But that's the heart of it. There's that's probably like one of the biggest things I'm working on. I want to get back to more live podcasting this year.
Mm-hmm.
And then related to that, like scripted podcasts. So I actually just started writing an audio drama for something that's not related to Everything is Awesome, but related to another podcast that I was a producer on. That you're going to be involved with. I think I started telling you about this. I forget.
Yes, you're supposed to talk about it more, and then work got busy.
But I want to do more audio dramas. I had a lot of fun with that Life Day special, so I want to do more of that. And I guess even related to that, I want to do an actual play for real this year. I think I have the story and the crew that I want to do it with. Just a matter of convincing everyone to come back. And then the last thing that's not related to podcasting is I want to give a real shot at making a film, or at least starting that process. You and I, real quick, backstory is we went to a screening for a buddy of yours. We thought it was a comedy show.
Yeah, we thought it was like an improv show. I didn't do enough research.
I showed up as the Adam Sandler of the audience in not basketball shorts. I was a step above that, khaki shorts. But I felt people were in tuxes, sir.
Yeah. I mean, I was like serviceably, you know, like
you were dressed the way you normally dress like a decent human being. I dressed like a 20-year-old still. So, like the fact that I wasn't wearing basketball shorts, a miracle.
He even says in the message that he sent me, "Rock the red carpet," right? Like, and I realistically should have like. I just
so
did that.
funny.
I was already thinking of him because I wanted to connect him with you because of the other project that we were talking about. And I was just like, all right, it's Kismet. And I just did not pay attention at all.
But anyway, so that movie, The Conspiracists, was a comedy mockumentary. And I say this in a way that's not, it's not meant to put the film down at all, because I enjoyed it and I thought there was a lot to love about it. But I left that saying to myself, if that's a movie, like we can totally do the movie that like I've been working on for years.
Right.
And so, and again, it's not negative towards that. It's just like it's showing me that like, oh, we don't
It's
need to
possible.
wait. We don't
Right.
need to wait for the perfect thing,
Right.
The perfect storm. So at the very least, I want to have the script completely written and maybe talking about filming it next year, because if they did that in 11 days, I totally feel like the story that I want to tell can be done, even if it ends up being weekends only or whatever. Like it
Right.
might be a couple months.
It's
but
accessible.
Yeah, it's totally accessible now. Like seeing that just kind of inspired me to just go with it.
Yep.
So that are like the three big high ticket things, I think.
I also have three things. I felt like that was a nice number to center with. I am putting it out there. I really would like to be at the New Jersey Renaissance Fair.
Yeah.
We've been asking for years at this point. I'm hoping that this is our year.
You guys have done so much in the last 12 months.
Right.
So.
And we've mentioned that to them. We drop names. Like, I'm really hoping that they come up and they say, hey, we'd like to have you. And there's really no reason that we shouldn't, because every time we go, there's room for us. Like,
Right.
There's just realistically no reason that we can't do it, except, hey, we also have people who sell things that are vaguely similar.
Right.
Those being the ones. Like, I'm sure they have some people there who are like, but we sell ones. We don't want them to. They're so wildly different. You're not going to have
Right.
to worry about that.
Right.
I'd really like to do the first TTRPG adventure module for the Tellus brand. I'd really like to put that out there to be able to sell at the New Jersey Ren Fair. I don't know if we'll be ready by then, but certainly by the end of the year, I want to get that first one done, get a feel for it, so that we can start working on additional ones as the year and years go on. And then finally, in much the same way that like we introduced Quantum Quest to the world by like having you and me just play with like index cards.
Right.
I would like to do the same thing with Tower Sphere and finally get that off the ground and like see, does this as a concept work? And I really think that it will. It's just, it's a much more busy, complex game.
Yeah.
And we're never going to really be able to see how it works until we actually get it onto a table.
Right. Exactly. All right. Well, that is your look ahead with Everything is Awesome in 2026. Thank you, Mike, for joining me as always.
You bet.
This is, I think, officially the last time you'll be on the show for a little bit. I think your services with Everything is Awesome have been rendered until I need you for a summer project.
You only come when I'm called.
Oh, well, and live shows. So we have live shows. Oh, and panels. We'll be doing panels, and hopefully we'll be doing panels in May with Fan Expo. Where can they find you?
Just go to tellus.com or youtube.com/@thatentertains, I believe.
That's Entertainment Videos.
I don't remember.
Link in the show notes. Link in the show notes. And the best place you can find me is on social media. If I'm available there publicly, it's at ThatNerdyKev. Of course, you can go to thatnerdykev.com, awesomepodcast.com. But for Everything is Awesome, I'm Kev.
I'm Mike.
And we'll see you next time right here, only on awesomepodcast.com.
It's not .net.